today we're going to go over day 1. So you both have different stuff, and I'm going to go over alternating. So, Mom, you're going to do single arm, single leg, dumbbell chest press. So, you guys have already done your joint prep, you've already done the other video that I made you for your home prep. And now we're going to do this. So, Mom, you're going to have dumbbell in right hand, and then let's have you have that right leg up, so your abs are going to have to challenge, and your left leg is really going to be grounded. So, do the best you can to reach that left heel towards the ground, belly button up and in, and then you're going to press up, bring it down and out, and press up. So the transitions are going to be the hardest part. So as you start pressing and as you start coming down, because your body's going to try and wiggle, it's an anti-rotation chest press, so you're trying to let your body stay super still as you're doing your press. Dad, you're going to do chest press, but you're going to have 2 dumbbells, and you're going to do tempo. And I can't remember if I put how long you're going down, but I think it's 3, 3, 3, and 3, or 5 seconds or something. So you'll get set up, really think about shrugging your shoulders down, belly button up and in, so your lats and serratus are engaged. And then you're going to bring them down as slow as you possibly can, kind of feeling what your body wants to do, and see if it wants to wiggle out of anything. Hold at the bottom, keeping tension in your chest, and then breathe out as you push up. So super, super slow, and pay attention to what you feel, what's different from each side. If there's pain, or if there's any spot that you're trying to get through really fast, other than a patience thing. So, you're both doing 10 of those. Mom, I think you're doing 8 to 10 on per side, and Dad, you're doing 10 really slow ones. Next, you're both doing cactus arms. So think about suction cupping your toes down. So you're not scrunching, you're pushing with your toes. Bend your knees, kind of lift your belly button up so you're getting up nice and straight. And then you're going to start with your palms facing your face, elbows parallel to each other, still pushing those toes down. You're going to feel a stretch all the way up the front of your body as you inhale up, open, really big and wide, and then exhale, pull down. So, toes push down, palms close together, spread super wide, inhale up, open, exhale down. And you kind of look where your hands are going when you can. 15 of those. Mom, you're going to do bicep T curls, so you're going to end up like a T. Start with if you normally do 10 pounds, do 8 pounds type of thing. So start one slightly down, just because you're already starting with your bicep at a lengthened position. So you're going to lift your heart up, rotate open from the chest, so you're externally rotating your arms out to the side, so your palms are out. And then you're going to curl, making sure that your pinky and ring finger are doing their part too, so you're getting the bicep contraction. You're going to do up to 15 of those. So if you feel pain in the front of your shoulder, kind of adjust the angle and see if you can do them externally rotated without pain, and let me know, because I can give you other modifications. Dad, you may not do dumbbell curls. You can do band curls of whatever band you're choosing, but they're 10-second curls. So you're going to stand on the band. I don't really have a preference if you do yeah, I do. So we're going to have you do rotational curls. So you're going to start with your palms parallel, heart lifted up, really go slow, and flex your way up, and then slowly lower back down. And again, try to pay attention to if there's a part where your body's trying to wiggle your elbow or compensate or something. And they're going to be different because your biceps are different, and they're never going to be the same, and that's okay. But try and focus on what you feel there. And if these bug you, let me know. Because if these bug you, you definitely shouldn't be doing dumbbell curls. At least not right now. So, I think we have you doing 10-second curls on those. And then you're both doing high plank knee tucks. So, high plank means on your hands. I'll show you a modification if that doesn't feel good. But think about starting your palms like this and using the mat or the floor to spread open. So that way you're stretching the fascia between your fingers too, and little fingertips kind of push down like frog paws. Your heels are going to reach super far back, so you're lifting your belly button up and in, kind of tucking your hips, opening your chest. Heels reach back, head reaches forward, and you're going to take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your knee up to the center, trying to kick your butt with your heel, and then inhale back, exhale up. So right heel's reaching back, right heel's reaching up towards, left heel's reaching up towards the butt. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So that is your day 1. you have a chest press thing. Mom's doing single arm, single leg. Dad's doing tempo. You're both doing cactus arms for 15. Mom's doing bicep T curls with dumbbells. Dad's doing band curls for 10 seconds each. And then you're both doing high plank knee tucks for up to 10 each side. They're kind of hard, so if it's like 4, that's fine, but work towards 10. We'll do day 2 next. Day 2 for mom and dad. So joint prep, home prep. All of those are done first. I can't really show you a lot of these ones because I don't have a leg press machine. So mom, you're gonna do tempo leg press with both of your feet on there. So what I want you to think about is spreading your toes as wide as you can and trying to feel all of your toe tips, and then work down towards feeling like your toe arch. So from like big toe to pinky toe, and try and build up from there. Heels stay on the board as well. So your whole foot is like really aware of the board. And then you're gonna go down, making sure that your butt doesn't tuck under at the bottom. So if you're lowering down and you start to feel like your butt lift off the pad, you've gone too far. And it doesn't matter how far down you go right now, it matters that you're going slow. So the point of going slow is you'll actually feel like where your body wants to do stuff and feel if your hips are moving weird or if your knees are loading differently, if one leg's doing too much. So that's what you're doing. Dad, you're gonna do the single leg tempo press. So this is the one, I think I mistakenly said it on the first day for chest press, but single leg tempo, so it's 3 seconds to lower, 3 second hold, 3 second press, and then you don't have to hold in between, you can just go to the next rep when you're ready. But I figured you guys would use the split board, like that one, so that way it's easy to transition. But mom, you're gonna do 6 to 10, dad, you're gonna do 6 to 10 each leg. Band tricep extension, high anchor. So I set one of the loopy bands up over here. It doesn't really matter if it's handled or looped, it's whatever you want. You're both doing this one, but I'm gonna have dad do a pause just because of the arm stuff going on. Mom, if you wanna do a pause, go for it. But you're going to grab the band with your thumbs pointing up towards the anchor, elbows slide back, lift your heart up. So this is where like the cactus thing from day 1 comes in. Push your toes down, lift your heart up. So it's like you're in a standing plank. And then elbows slide back, keep your chest open as you drive your hands back down towards your hips. And then inhale up, exhale down. If you're doing it with a pause, you'll pause and try and flex the shit out of your triceps and then let it back up really slowly. So it's not fast, you're trying to build tension as you go. So 15 of those. Bird dogs for mom. I wasn't sure if dad could be on his knees, so you can do these, but I have a different one for you next. So bird dogs, you're gonna start out in tabletop position, so swoopy hands again. Think about turning your biceps forward, opening your chest, and then you're really gonna push your left foot down as you inhale to kick your right heel and left arm extended, and then you'll exhale to bring it back down, inhale to kick the opposite side, exhale back down. So with your bird dogs, you're not trying to go up high, you're trying to get your heel as far away as you can and your fingers as far away as you can, and then back down. So it's working the cross-body blue lines that help with walking and like rotational stuff. Dad, sorry mom, you're gonna do 6 to 10 per side there. Dad, you're gonna do lateral hip press with hold. So this one, you start out in a side plank with your knees, sorry, not side plank, but start out with your shoulder stacked over your elbow. Palm can be in a fist, or if you can rotate it down. Mine doesn't do that right now. So knees gonna drive into the floor. You're basically doing abduction, right? So side plank with your hip on the ground to start. Right knee drives into the ground, left leg drives up and out, and I squeeze my butt up, and then lower back down. So you're gonna lift up, hold, and then bring it back down. You can have your feet together to start, if that's easier or better. And then eventually you'll work on opening your hips even more. So we're working on all of your abducting muscles. And let me know how it feels on the shoulder, because if that feels weird, I can give you something else. But you'll do 6 to 10 per side with like a little bit of a hold at the top. And then you're both gonna do farmer carries. So you'll grab 2 weights. It can be kettlebells, it can be dumbbells, it doesn't really matter. They should be kind of heavy, but not heavy enough where you're gonna start slumping like this. So grab your dumbbells, make sure you have a nice grip, super straight wrists, lift your heart up, and then you're just gonna walk around as normal as you can while you're carrying those things. And I think I had you do gym by 4, so that little stretchy area, stretch of area near the leg press machine. So like leg press is over here, and then you walk up and down that little alley if you can. If not, should be about a minute maybe. So 2 dumbbells, 1 in each hand, keep your chest up, and try not to like swing your arms. You're just trying to keep your trunk upright. So you should feel like your bicep kind of squeeze against your body and then set back down. So you'll feel like solid when you're doing it. So your hands should kind of be tired, but your forearms and hands are probably gonna give out before anything else to begin with, but that's part of why we're doing it. So, love you, that's day 2, good luck. Hey peeps, mom and dad. We're gonna do day 3 now. So, you've done your joint prep, you've done the home prep. Now we're gonna start with single arm, split stance, rotational rows. So you're gonna do a cable, I don't have cables. So if the band is in, or the cable, that's you. If the cable is in your left hand, your right leg's gonna be forward, and you're just gonna be in a split stance to try to keep your hips under you versus being here. So torso's up tall, back heel doesn't have to be down on the ground. And the rotation part is your arm. So you're gonna start out with your palm facing down, and as you grow, you're gonna initiate at your shoulder blade, pull back, and slowly turn your palm up, and then rotate back down as you go forward. So lots of arm rotation. It's gonna work your arm lines, look at your anatomy trains book, and keeping your abs engaged. So if you want, you can add a little bit of a trunk rotation, but you don't need to. You're just gonna do the arm. So palm down to palm up. You're gonna do 8 to 10 per side there. Then, and I think you're both doing that one, then staggered PALOFF press. So PALOFF press is a movement some dude named after himself. It's an anti-rotation one, so it's where you start with normal PALOFF press. You start with the band in front of your chest, and then you'll press out. Because you're doing staggered, and I'm gonna make it hard on you, whatever foot is closest to the anchor point is back. This you can do with a band or a cable. I prefer that you do it with a band, but cables are right where you're at, right? So this one you're gonna do 10 to 12 per side, back leg. Heel's kind of like reaching down, but it doesn't have to be touching the ground. So you just have like toes engaged and then heel reaches down. Start with the band right in front of your chest. Everything's gonna have to kind of like squeeze to the center line, so your legs are kind of like engaged, but not like squeezing, they're just engaged. Nice and tall, and then you're gonna press out and bring it back down. If that feels too easy, take a step further away from the anchor point. You don't wanna be wiggling as you go out though, so torso up nice and tall, inhale to press, exhale to return. 10 to 12 per side there. The next one is super easy, but it's important because we've just done rotational stuff with your arms and then a really solid like anti-rotation pressing, right? So now we're gonna stretch it all out. Alternating inhale to reach is in the cactus family. Toe presses down. You're gonna start with your arms kind of in front of you. Inhale up, exhale back down, inhale up, exhale back down. And you're trying to get your bicep back towards your ear. Right now you're probably gonna be here, or your arm is gonna try to scoop out as you go up. So keep it nice and in. Normally people's elbow goes bloop, but we're working on getting your shoulder blades to actually like go down and back together because both of you have tight shoulders and have to carry kids all the time. So right here, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, and really try to see how connected you can feel from like left pinky finger to left pinky toe all through there. 10 to 12 per side. And then knee side plank, top leg long. This one's for mom. Dad, you have a different one. So knee side plank, all the pops. You're gonna start with your shoulder right over your elbow. Hand can be in a fist, or if you can turn it down towards the ground, that's fine too. And then you're going to get your knees back in line. So you wanna think about having like knees, hips, ribs, shoulders, ears, all in a super straight line. So if dad's behind you, he can tell you if it's right or not. And then you're gonna lift up into your knee plank, but you're gonna extend the top leg long. So this leg is nice and long, the side body super straight, and then you're trying to lift your hips way up towards the ceiling. So it's not necessarily gonna be a straight line this way, but from that view, it should be a straight line that way. So from there, you're going to 10 breaths each side. Hold it for 10 breaths. So your breath is your count. You don't need a timer or anything. they're probably gonna be kind of hard. So just be patient with yourself and think about belly button up and in and just staying supported. So if you feel anything pinching or if you're having a hard time activating something, let me know. Dad, you're gonna do Vishnu side plank. So your hips are gonna stay on the ground the whole time. And then you have two options. You can start, depending on how you feel, with your arm extended out and your head laying on your bicep. And then you're gonna kick your heels as far as you can and try not to wiggle back and forth. So this is enough. Or you can go up onto your elbow, but your hips are staying on the ground. So you're kind of like grounding from your hip, grounding from your elbow. This part's kind of stretching up in a curved line, and then your heels are reaching back. So you're trying to just stay as solid as you can there. Really reaching your heels forward, that's super important. And then belly button's kind of just like up and in, but not tensed. So that's your side plank, and you're gonna do 10 breaths each side as well. So that's day 3, have fun, love you, and see you for day 4. Woo, day 4. So today we're going to start with joint prep and home prep, and then we're gonna do some Romanian deadlifts and hinge stuff. So you guys both have different stuff, but you both could do either. So if you wanna do the same thing, that's fine, but Mom, we're gonna have you do B stance, double dumbbell RDLs. So B stance is where you start out standing up tall, you're gonna slide one foot back so that way your knees are still in line, but that heel is off the ground, so your pinky toe is reaching towards the ground on that back foot, and then you're gonna stand up tall. So you'll grab your 2 dumbbells, lift your heart up really high, left foot, big toe is grounding, and I feel like pretty engaged there, so you're just trying to keep your hips as even as you can. Weight is pretty evenly distributed. Chest up nice and tall, you're gonna push your hips back, reach your head forward, feel a stretch in your hamstring, and then come back up. So, like I said, weight is pretty evenly distributed. It's not gonna be perfect, you're probably gonna feel it a lot more in your left hamstring than your right because it's straight versus bent, right? But we're gonna have you do 6 to 10 per side there. Dad, or Mom, you're gonna do a pyramid hinge to rotation. So, you're gonna start out with your back foot slightly angled out, front leg straight forward, and then think about pulling this hip back and this hip forward. So you're already gonna have some rotation there. From there, you're going to lean, you can use dumbbells if you want, but try it body weight first. You're gonna lean your heart forward, and then bend this back leg, rotate down, so you're kind of turning your knee under your other leg, and then come back up, open, pull back, lean forward, drop down, and come up. So you're starting out in that pyramid hinge position, so your hamstring's already lengthened, and then you're bringing this hip in and trying to close your pelvis. So versus it being open, you're trying to squeeze it towards each other. It's gonna help stretch out your low back and your hips. Also, it's gonna challenge your knees a lot, so be patient and do them slow. That one, you're also doing 6 to 10 per side. Descent push-ups is the next thing, and you both have something similar, but again, it's kind of different. So, Mom, you are gonna do descent push-ups. These can be on the ground, they can be on the box, it doesn't really matter where, but it's actually like just the lowering part of the push-up, so you don't actually have to push up. So you'll get up in push-up position, so think about thumbs like in your armpits, kind of pointing towards each other, so eventually they would meet. Fingers spread super wide, heels reach back. You're gonna lower yourself down as slow as you can, and when you feel like you're about to fall, put your knees down, and then come back up. Or you can lower all the way down, and then get up however you need to. So we're just working on the lowering part. Dad, we're also working on the lowering part for you, but you're gonna do a 10-second descent. And you can do the push-up if you want. But you are gonna take 10 seconds to get to the bottom of your push-up, so it's gonna be painfully slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up. So, both of you are doing those because your shoulders are interesting. And they probably have some scar tissue. Dad, we for sure know you have scar tissue. Mom, you probably have scar tissue too. Just from having frozen shoulder and stuff like that before. So doing slow eccentrics, you probably already know this, but it helps actually like move the fascia in a better way. So when there's scar tissue in there, it's all like mangled up and the fibers don't really stretch that well. So doing a slow eccentric is gonna allow all those fibers to kind of stretch out and then they can start gliding better. So Mom, you're gonna do up to 10, Dad, you're doing 6. Next, we have a dead bug, but both of you are gonna do a little bit different. So, Mom, you're gonna do segmented dead bugs. So you're going to tuck your tailbone under, think about pushing your lower back into the floor, and doing that is what brings your legs up. Hands are gonna reach up tall, so you're like a little dead bug on the floor. Both of you are gonna start this way, but Mom, you're gonna inhale, kick your heel forward, continue inhaling to raise your arm up, and then exhale, bring it back together, sorry. Other side, inhale to kick your heel forward, continue to inhale to reach your arm forward, exhale, other side. If you feel this in your back, you can put your hips like a wedge under your hips or like a little mat under there so it angles it for you. But again, segmented, inhale, heel goes forward, then arm, then together, heel, arm, together. Dad, you're gonna start out in your dead bug position, but you're only doing one side at a time. So think about belly button up and in, and inhale, both arms out, or sorry, both limbs out, leg and arm. Exhale up together. Inhale, left heel, right arm extends. Exhale up together. So you're doing all one side versus alternating. And Mom, you're doing one limb at a time versus the same time. So both of you are going to do 6 to 10 per side, I think. Lateral single arm farmer carry for Mom. You're gonna do the gym twice, so like on day 2, you had the farmer carry area. Whenever you did that, do it again. Use that same space. So you're gonna hold the weight. I'm gonna be going laterally, right? Chest stays up tall, weight's not dipping me down, and you're just gonna walk sideways. It's kind of like a crab walk, but you are kind of pushing with your hip, but mainly you're trying to stay up tall. So you're gonna do the gym twice. It will be slower. Take your time with it. Your butt's probably gonna be on fire because I feel what I just did. So do those. Dad, instead of doing the lateral ones, we gotta work on other stuff before I have you do that. So we're gonna have you do single arm farmer marching. So you are gonna hold one weight. You're gonna face forward, keep your chest up tall, act like you have weight on both sides, and high step. So you are also going to do the gym twice. You, if you want, can go backwards too. So you can go forward and back, or you can just turn around. It doesn't really matter to me. But that is day 4. This is your whole program. Let me know what questions you have, and love you guys.